Hey folks, welcome back to Hey Adora, your queer She-Ra podcast.
Where no one is crying.
I am still and will ever be Force Captain Math, they, them.
And I am your faithful Princess Jenny, she, her.
And Jenny, we're here.
We are.
We are here. It's taken 5 years and we are here. Coincidentally, the show was on for 5 years, so I feel like we timed it pretty well.
Oh yeah, it was all part of our evil genius master plan.
We're very smart. Why are we so sad and bittersweet yet hopeful? Because we are now on Heart Part 1. Heart Part 1 was written by Josie Campbell, was directed by Jen Bennett, with storyboards by Brendan Cloher, Jasmine Goggins, Diane He, Sharon Sun, and the regent of Catradora, Mickey Quinn. Jenny.
Math.
Are you ready?
I am. We've been doing this so long, I have reading glasses now, which I've never had before.
Well, you know what? It's fun to be bespectacled.
It is, yeah. I mean, I feel like my eyes have superpowers now. It's like, oh, I forgot what it felt like to really be wicked good at seeing letters.
Yeah. I mean, I also transitioned into progressives because I was like, it's fine. I can just hold my arm out. Anyway, this is what you have to look forward to when you get old. But remember, being an old queer is also a radical thing to do.
Yeah, it's amazing, actually.
It's awesome that we've made it.
Yes.
And you can make it too.
Yes. You're going to win in the end.
You're going to win in the end.
So before we dive into this amazing yet heartbreaking episode, we have something really cool to share with all of you, courtesy of our amazing, badass, professional poet friend, Liv Mamone.
Yay!
So our friend Liv, who is a professional published poet, sent me this amazing She-Ra themed poem from the Poetry Foundation website. And we're going to put this link in our show notes. And it's a poem about the episode where Glimmer starts her glitch. And it is a poem from the Disability Poetics collection on the Poetry Foundation website. But the name of the poet is Ariana Monet. And as Liv points out, this would be cool no matter where it came from. It's an amazing poem. But this is the most prestigious poetry magazine and website in the US. So this is like a lot of recognition. So this is from their Disability Poetics collection. And we're lucky to have it posted an audio recording in the poet's own voice. And so this poet connected to that as the onset of chronic pain and chronic illness, which I hadn't even thought of it that way. But after I read this poem, I connected to it a lot. We're going to put it in for you here, and then we're going to talk about it just for a couple minutes before we dive into the episode. So the title is the first line of the poem in the style of Emily Dickinson. So I'm going to read the title and then dive right in.
Love it.
I'm rewatching the She-Ra episode where Glimmer gets sick for the first time, and I keep mistaking the screen for a mirror. By which I mean, I too was once adolescent and unconquerable. Purple hair, a body unmarked by pain. Then the bright unholiness of onset. She screams, glitches into crimson static. In the right light, even pain can sparkle. Blood cells glinting into oblivion. Flicker of agony, scarlet against the ego. Candescence of a body as it burns itself undone. If I am to live this way, neurons blazing, my fists clenched proudly against a whimper, let me at least malfunction in a way that shines.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
Poetry!
This is the beginning of so many more feelings.
I know.
Oh, that was wonderful. And that was fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
So yeah, even though we have both had a lot of experiences with migraines, chronic migraines, which I've had all my life, when I first read this poem, I connected to it more with the onset of menstrual cramps, which, started for me at age 11 with my first period. I had unbelievably brutal menstrual cramps from my very first period, and it wasn't something I was expecting or could have been prepared for. And, it prevented me from sitting in class, listening to the teacher. There was no way I could participate with this level of pain. And, other kids were not compassionate. They didn't understand. They weren't like, oh, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? I would get up out of my chair and pace up and down the hallway, hunched over, and kids would be laughing at me. They didn't understand. They thought it was funny. I think kids today are a bit more, Gen Alpha has a lot more compassion for each other.
Good job, kids.
Than kids of middle schoolers of yore used to be. But, my mom was very compassionate. She took me to the doctor right away. And I ended up getting a prescription that fucked up my upper GI tract. And then through my 20s, I had to get a bunch of upper GI endoscopies, and I had to go on a low acid reflux diet for over a decade, which has now finally been resolved because I was very strict about it because they said the word precancerous, and that was scary enough to make me be very strict with the rule following. But, it really affected my whole life. And you can get used to chronic pain. Like people who have chronic pain, like you also, you get used to things, and you just get used to the fact that this is your life and you have to handle it, and you develop a very high threshold for pain.
Mm-hmm.
And, with migraines also, like you just get used to tolerating it, but it prevents you from participating in so much of life.
Yeah. Yeah. And just something that I want to bring up, if people are familiar with the pain scale, the 1 to 10 pain scale, it's really hard for people that have chronic pain to gauge what that is, because it's like, okay, well, what if you're at a 4 for like 10 days a month? What does that mean? Right? That's a 1 for you at that point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so just feeling seen by other people who connect, and when you're in like an intolerable amount of pain for a certain amount of time and you feel like you can't bear it anymore, but you have no choice. There's nothing to do. You have to continue to bear it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's isolating.
It's very isolating. And so to feel like you have community and connection around that is really empowering, and it really moves the needle.
Yeah, it does. And also, Jenny and I both deeply value the strength of both community and creation in community. And I feel like this poem itself really, both hits the nail on the head and shows, hey, you're not alone.
No doubt. So thank you, darling Liv. We love you so fucking much. If you're interested in hearing some more badass disability poetry, you can pick up our friend Liv's debut poetry collection. It's called Fire in the Waiting Room. And it's available from Game Over Books, and we're going to put the link for that in our show notes as well.
Hell yeah.
So shall we dive into Etheria, where there is some beautiful, peaceful lute music playing that I now can identify as lute music? Thanks to Professor Smartbrain.
Professor Smartbrain loves a lute. Let's go. So as Jenny said, we are kind of in this really wonderful calm before the storm space. Entrapta is tinkering, working on stuff. Natasa and Spinnerella are snuggling. Perfuma is crestfallen, but is, working, putting flowers in Frosta's hair. I love that Seahawk is making Castaspella, crack up laughing.
Yeah, it's like everyone has something to do. Like, they're all cozied up around the campfire.
Yeah, and, I would be remiss if I did not mention that we have Bo and Glimmer being all snuggly wuggly, with Bo playing the lute.
Mm-hmm. And they're cuddling against Swifty.
And just a really kind of quick noticing here about the music. So the music is this beautiful, slow, and I believe that the instrument here is an acoustic guitar, but it is supposed to evoke a lute. And if you are a frequent listener to the score of She-Ra, you will recognize this as the first section of the score from Princess Prom.
Ah.
So this motif, which I'm going to play for you right now, I'm going to play the Princess Prom version, and then I'm going to play you this version. And you'll see that it's wonderful.
And also, though, another fun vocab word, this music is diegetic.
Yes, Jenny, do you want to tell the people what diegetic is?
Yes, we have discussed this before. This is a callback. This music is being played by someone in the show. It's not a score. Like, the people in the show are hearing it. It's not just the audience that's hearing it. They can identify, like, oh, who's playing this music? Oh, it's our pal Charlie over there in the corner playing guitar. It's not, it's not the score that the audience is hearing. It's actually part of the world of the show.
Correct. While all this is going on, this wonderful camaraderie and just love, coziness.
Yes, coziness. It's like we're all hunkered down we all have each other in this difficult time, and we're all drawing comfort from each other in this difficult time. But there's one person who is not.
No, and you know who it is, right? It's Adora. Yeah, and Adora is like in a separate part, like closed off. It looks like she's in some sort of like
partitioned curtain area. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a changing tent, Yeah.
I mean, it's all one space. It's like a cave, but that's why they have this little curtain partition. And it's not closed, but she is very much in a separate space.
She's very much in a separate space, and she's staring at a mirror. And this very much reminds me of the first episode of season 5, where we see Adora going through the motions. There's a very going through the motions thing here, where she ties her hair back in the ponytail and she stares at herself and she's like, okay. She holds the failsafe on her chest and is trying to make it happen, trying to bring She-Ra back, right? Trying to find herself there.
This feels... to me, this feels even more like she's really reaching down into herself to try to pull on like the very, very dregs of her inner reserves to muster herself up even more than in the beginning of the season. Like her hair is down. She's so tired, but she feels like she has to do this, she has to do this by herself. For everyone. And, she reaches down to her chest, like you said, where the failsafe is, and she tries to touch it, but it has no mass. There's nothing for her to hold. There's literally nothing for her to hold on to.
Yeah.
She just makes a fist over this empty space where the failsafe is, but it has no mass. It just makes this little, like, shing kind of sound.
Oh, Jenny. I didn't even think about the empty space where her heart should be, and this external manifestation of what her heart should be versus where her actual heart is. And it's just like that separation there that she is feeling.
Yeah, like this is the beginning of the thread of what she's going through throughout this whole episode. And, identify with her so much through this episode of her feeling so alone, despite the fact that she's surrounded by people who love her. And, this is her, CPTSD trauma and triggering and just always feeling like I have to be strong for everyone. I have to muster myself up even when I have nothing left inside of me. And she's just like trying to pull herself together by herself.
Yeah.
And she just looks back up at herself in the mirror with this incredibly sad, resigned expression. And she just lets herself have that for this one extended moment. And then after that, that's when she pulls her hair up and she's like, all right, I got to get it together. And she tries to summon the sword and she can't. And she closes her eyes. She's so sad and she's so scared, but she feels like she can't share this burden with anyone. And she keeps her eyes squeezed shut like that for this extended moment. And she's like, I gotta do it until they finally open up with that glue avatar glow.
Mm-hmm.
And then she finally manages, to do it and to get it together. And that's when she walks back into the room, when she finally feels like she has her mask of strength. That type of strength can also be a mask.
Absolutely. She's working very hard because she does love her friends. And you can tell as we've talked about, love is the magic of the universe here. And she really is drawing on that pool of kind of like a reserve of herself, and her selflessness is manifest of love here because she has to find the love somewhere here.
So she finally gets together and she walks out into the big room where all our buds are. We have a cute little moment where Swifty, he's sort of half asleep, and he picks up his head and asks Bo to stop playing that thing, which I thought it sounded pretty good, but maybe he was just sleepy and it's keeping him from his sleep. And Bo says, hey, I'm still learning. Glimmer says, well, I like it. And she's kind of like half melting onto Bo. And they both kind of blush at each other. And, it's cute. It seems a little excessive in terms of like the cue they're trying to give us. It's like, well, these two are gonna be a couple any second. They're really falling for each other. It's like, okay, we already know they love each other. Right.
Yeah. They're gay for each other. It's fine.
Yeah. In case you haven't picked up on it, these guys are gonna be a couple. It's like, yeah, we know. Calm down. So they have this cute little moment. And that's when She-Ra walks in, commanding everyone's attention. Like they're all in this little semicircle. And she just kind of walks into the middle of it like she's their kindergarten teacher at circle time.
Oh my God, right? Yes. And she does her big damn hero speech. And it's in exposition too. We learn that Prime is getting closer to figuring out how to access the heart. If he succeeds, he can use it to destroy worlds, galaxies, and maybe even the entire universe. The failsafe is their option to stop it. And Prime still has their friends. His hold over them grows stronger every day they're chipped. So they pretty much have to like free the friends, fight Prime, and then they'll be able to save the universe. No big deal.
Yeah, that's all they have to do. Just before dinner.
Oh my gosh, Jenny, that's such a good point. Do you think they ate before they went and did this? Because they really should have.
Yeah, hopefully they at least had like a solid snack.
Yeah, like a nice base of protein.
Yeah, something with peanut butter at least. When you're on the road and you don't have the ability to like bring a lot of perishables with you, it's good to have peanut butter.
Yeah, or if you're allergic to peanut butter, sunflower butter.
Yes, some kind of non-perishable protein source.
I really hope that they had their non-perishable protein sources for this. And I hope Entrapta had her tiny ones. And because, as she mentioned, she succeeded in cracking Prime's signal pattern.
Yeah, she boops over very high spirits. She boops up over Adora's shoulder on her hair tendrils. So she's taken up a lot of space. Mm-hmm. She tells everyone the fruits of her research. She finally succeeded in cracking Prime's signal pattern.
Which, by the way, I just want to interrupt. She's been working on this since season 4. Remember? When she was like, this is crazy. I can't figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, so this is like a long time coming for her. This is a big deal for her, too. Just in time, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, this is like one of the bonuses to having someone with hyper focus and special interests. Yeah. So she says if she gets access to his Spire network, she can use it to broadcast a jamming frequency that will disable all the chips on Etheria, freeing everyone at once. And she does this big jazz hands move behind and above Adora's head, like, ta-da! And then she just boops out real quick.
Yep.
So it's a real injection of energy that we all need right now.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. We love you, Entrapta, and we love your brain. And She-Ra appreciates this. The second plan for the other team is to get Entrapta to the Spire and keep Prime focused.
Focused on the B team, who's going to be fighting him, while Entrapta goes up on the Spire to jam the signal. Like, keep his energy on all you guys and the fighty fight.
And, oh, by the way, after, while they're doing that, She-Ra's going to go to the failsafe, destroy the heart, and save the world all by herself.
Yeah. Once and for all.
Once and for all, for good.
To make sure that Prime can never hurt anyone ever again. We're ending this today. And then the triumphant music swells and all our buddies cheer. And we're going to win in the end. And everyone gets excited and there's all this like crosstalk and you can just make out Seahawk yelling, "Hacha! Friendship!"
Which I definitely have quoted before.
Of course.
I got Seahawk energy.
Of course you do.
I got it in there.
This is so much bigger than even like every season the scope has gotten bigger. It's like we got to save the world, and their whole world is just so insulated. They don't even have a concept of a greater universe because they don't have stars. They don't have other planets. It's just the world. That seems pretty fucking big, saving the whole world. And then boop, they're part of the larger universe. It's like, okay, now we got to save the whole galaxy. And now it's like, okay, we got to save the whole fucking universe. All life as we know it. Like if we fail, there's literally nowhere else to run.
That's a lot of pressure. I don't know. That's why I really hope they had a good breakfast.
Yeah. So all our buddies are cheering, but Adora looks over through this crowd of all her cheering buddies, and she sees, of course, the one person who could be a huge fucking downer in the midst of all this, Shadow Weaver, sulking alone in the corner like a little bitch with her arms crossed. And just looking at her makes Adora lose her She-Ra form for a sec. And if that's not proof of our thesis, I don't know what is. Our thesis about what makes Adora lose her She-Ra form.
Yeah.
Is, having doubts about herself, having fears.
Yeah.
Like the lack of love.
Yeah. It's like Shadow Weaver is an instant vacuum for love. Like she just takes all the love and confidence out of the room.
Yeah. All of your self-confidence, all of your sense of things being okay, and
all your sense of worth.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Self-love, man, that's super important.
That's part of the love. Yeah. So Adora probably does the right thing in that moment where she's like, this is kind of fucked. I gotta peace out. She runs outside, turning away from all of her excitedly chattering friends. And as soon as she's outside, she does lose her She-Ra form. And she's holding her wrist in this way that it comes across to me, at least, like she's trying to hold on to herself.
Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good observation.
Yeah. And Glimmer notices her leave and goes out after her along with Bo. And they find Adora looking out in the forest like a sad puppy.
The sad puppy yearning, looking out into this is where Catra disappeared.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Boo. And, we have more of this conversation of Bo checking in, being like, you weren't trying to sneak out without us, were you? And Glimmer, did any sign of Catra? And poor Adora's her whole face. And it's like, she's not coming back. It's like, she knows, or she thinks she knows, Catra is not coming back. And it's just heartbreaking. And this turn of, are you sure you guys should come? We don't know what to expect from the Heart of Etheria. It could be dangerous for you.
Right. And specifically, this is all about her worry for them.
Yeah.
Because it's a given that it's going to be dangerous for her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But there's nothing to be done about that. She
has to do it. And her friends are like, we're not letting you do this on your own. We will do it together. Which I don't know about you, Jenny, but I think that that's been the theme of the whole show.
It is the theme of the whole show.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And as we've discussed before, it's like, you keep learning the same lessons over and over, and you might get it in your head, but that's very different from getting it in your heart.
Yeah, getting it in your failsafe.
Yeah, and like this moment where she says to them, like, oh, I don't know if you should come. It's going to be dangerous for you.
Mm-hmm.
And without even acknowledging the fact that it's also going to be dangerous for her.
Right.
This is there's so many moments in this episode and the next episode that are just so gutting for me. But this is the moment where I made a little bullet about how hard it hit me to hear her say that. And not like, and of course they say like, oh, we're going to stick with you, but they don't acknowledge like, well, it's going to be dangerous for you too. Like it's dangerous for everybody. And that's why we're all in it together.
Yeah.
It really just reminded me so much of, the way I grew up and the mentality that I grew up with, and nobody ever really acknowledged it. It was just sort of like, well, that's how it is. Growing up in a family where like, basically everyone else had a diagnosed mental illness except for me. And I just kind of felt like I always had to keep it together because it sort of went without saying that nobody else was going to keep it together. I had this metaphor. I kind of felt like it was like being in an airtight box and everyone you love is in there with you and they all are dying of emphysema and you're the only one who's not dying of emphysema. So like you have this choice. It's like, well, I could just breathe my fair share of air and watch everyone else die, or I can hold my breath so they can live.
Right. And what do you do?
And what is fair? Like fairness has no meaning in this context.
No, it does not.
No one chose for it to be this way. This is just how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, like, I eventually grew up and left that box, but I had already developed this fundamental modality and this fundamental way of being. It's like, at the first sign of trouble, I just hold my breath so everyone else can have enough air so they can live.
I see why you identify with Adora so much, because this is also, Adora is a fantasy character that did not live through this particular thing, but definitely was the person where all of the pressure was put on her, and she had to keep it all together. And so that completely makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, so many people can identify with all of the characters in different ways. Like, that's why we have these fantasy and sci-fi tropes. That's why genre shows are so good, because it's a way we can work out real life stuff in this safe fantasy world, and so many different people from different real life situations can identify with them.
Yes, I agree.
It's very powerful. And it takes a lifetime to unlearn this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it absolutely does take a lifetime to unlearn this stuff, and it takes community. And we see that here when Bo is like, we're not going to let you go. We're going to do this together. Yeah. They hold Adora close. They hug her.
Yeah.
She smiles for the first time that we've seen here in this particular part.
Yeah, she's smiling even while she has tears in her eyes. And that's a very, healing moment.
Absolutely. And then she can confidently summon She-Ra.
Yes. And that's the last moment before the credits.
So she honors of Grayskulls. This is our final credit.
This is our final credits.
So I'm going to ask Jenny for the final time on this podcast. Are we going to win in the end?
I don't know, but
damn.
I think that if we are all willing to leave it all on the field and have trust in ourselves the same way that we have trust in each other, even when things are very, very dark, the way they are in this episode, if we can keep having faith that there is going to be ultimately light at the end of the tunnel, and that big dark baddies cannot hold power indefinitely, and the more smug they are, the harder they fall. We've seen that happen over and over. If we can just keep having faith in each other the way our friends are, that we have as good a chance as anyone ever could of winning in the end.
Yeah.
What do you think? I've only turned it around on you one other time.
You have only turned it around on me one other time. Do I think we're going to win in the end? I don't know if there ever is an end.
That's right. I mean, that is also true.
Yeah, but I think that we have the capability to pull together and gather the wins that we can and stake together.
That's good.
So we're back at the Crystal Castle where it all began.
First, we have a boss-like entrance. We have She-Ra, Bo, and Glimmer entering. Boss-like.
Yeah, this needs like guitar, like like
yeah. So we have this glitchy old recording that specifically tells us, warning, planetary facilitator Light Hope protocol offline. So this is not Light Hope. This is some sort of, like lo-fi, emergency lighting system that is not Light Hope. And it tells them manual administrator access is not recommended at this time. But Adora will not be bossed by holograms anymore.
No, definitely not. So she holds her heart, holds her failsafe, and says, we're friends of Mara. Now show us where the Heart of Etheria is. And then the hologram sends like heart beams to her heart beams. She gets scanned, and lo-fi, non-Light Hope, emergency lights hologram says, welcome, friends of Mara.
But it suddenly stops being glitchy in this way that we've sort of joked on before. It's like, everything's falling apart until it finds out that She-Ra's here. And it's like, She-Ra's here. Then I can pull it together and stop being glitchy.
Right? It's like, oh shit, the boss is here. Look busy.
Yeah. And then it goes back from being red to being like the cool bicolors. And it says in a non-glitchy voice, welcome, friends of Mara.
Yep. And then like a secret door opens. And, everybody holds each other's hand and goes off to the yellow brick road.
Off to see the wizard.
They're off to see the wizard.
And Adora looks back and forth between them like she still can't believe that they're sticking with her, and she smiles.
Yes, it's such an important part. And then she looks back. They all head in.
And then we boot back off to the Whispering Woods with Catra and Milog.
Gosh, poor Catra. So Catra is riding Milog. Milog is like, hold up, girl. Dead stops.
Like, I mean, we know they have a psychic connection because she looks back. And as soon as she looks back, that's when Milog comes to an abrupt stop. It's like he senses her hesitation.
Good catch. Good catch. And because she blows it off, she's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And Milog is like, no. And I have written here, you are a king among wingmen, Milog. Good job stopping. And then they have their cute little one-sided conversation.
Yeah, they have their little kitty argument.
Where Milog's like, meow, 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 which, you know, we all have arguments with our cat where the cat speaks cat and you speak people.
Yep.
Only Catra's is about, you know, continuing to run away and never going back to Adora.
Because she thinks Adora chose Shadow Weaver, not her.
Not her. Yes.
And she says, Adora doesn't want me, not like I want her. And she's crying. And Milog lays on top of her and licks her face while she cries. And then we all cry. And my cat, Milog, jumped on top of me at that exact moment and started making biscuits on my tummy. I am not lying. I have a photo of him doing that while that shot was on the screen.
Oh my gosh, little Milog. And I do want to point out that when we have Catra's shift fu, Adora doesn't want me, not like I want her. Catra yells, not me, Adora doesn't want me, and gets really quiet and looks away and her ears flatten out and is like admitting, like there's an admission here that she's like almost like never said out loud. She's like, not like I want her.
Yeah. It's an unbelievably gay moment.
No, it's great. So we're in the final countdown of gayest moments here, Jenny, as you may know, here on Hey Adora. But if we don't say anything about this particular moment, we wouldn't be doing our jobs.
No, we would both be fired.
We would both be fired. We would fire each other. It would be a mutual firing. So, Jenny.
Yes, my darlingest Meph.
I know we don't do hierarchy here because hierarchy is part of, like, you know, patriarchy bullshit, like white supremacy bullshit. However, I think in the whole history of the show, this is probably the maybe number 3 gayest moment of the whole show.
I mean, I'll definitely put it in the top 5 because there's so many. Like I'm thinking about, you know, Princess Prom. There's 2 in Princess Prom. There's the scissoring grinding on the dance floor. And then there's the moment during the fight where Catra's about to go over, you know, because they can't stop staring into each other's eyes when they're supposed to be fighting. So that's 2 just in Princess Prom. And then there's at least 2 others in the next episode that are extremely, extremely gay. So if we put those 2 together plus this one, that's top 5.
Jenny, I'm going to say that this is gayer than Princess Prom, and here's why. Because Catra literally says, not like I want her.
Yes, it's extraordinarily gay. It's extraordinarily gay. It's like punching the person who's sitting next to you on the couch gay.
Yeah, you're like, oh, she's just saying she's gay. Like, it's, you know, like, it's so gay, it's straight, and then back to gay again.
Yeah, I mean, there's like almost no words.
Yeah, but I did come up with 4 words here.
Say your words.
Big, lesbian, yearning, angst.
Yeah.
That's what we got here.
I mean, that covers it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are very few things gayer than actually doing gay stuff than being big lesbian yearning angst person. The yearning and the lesbian yearning and the lesbian angst. Very gay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to put it above the 2 from Princess Prom. I'm just putting it like in a constellation of those moments all together as the top 5, perhaps.
You know what? That's totally fair because really hierarchies are false anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, it's truly incredible. Like again, like there have been moments before that we've talked about in terms of like when we were watching them for the first time, just the incredulity, like we almost can't take it in, being like, holy shit, is this real?
We're like, wait, she said that? No way.
Like, how is this real? How did this make it past all the Netflix executives and the studio executives? Like,
yeah. And there is no ambiguity here.
Yes, this is incontrovertible.
Like somebody watching this can be like, they're good friends. Like, wait. There is no way to interpret not like I want her as not being gay.
Yeah, they were not roommates.
So we really have to spend this much time on this because this is one of the most important gayest moments of the show.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So Katra is just big lesbian yearning angst mess. Milog is licking the tears off of her cheek and just being such a good kitty.
Such a good kitty.
Such a good kitty. We love you, Milog. Chin scritchies forever. And even better kitty, because they hear footsteps coming towards them and Milog turns them all invisible.
Yes.
So the two of them are now invisible and hiding. So saving the heart, saving the person. Good job, Milog. Incredible cat. Incredible cat.
Yes. He's a much better addition to the party than Flutterina.
Yeah, that wasn't a great idea.
So as invisible spies, they are now able to follow this clone that has stumbled onto the scene. So it is now time for kitty detectives.
Kitty detective hours starts. They are following this clone. They go to the Horde.
The Horde camp. That's what I'm calling this setting.
It's like the Horde camp oil rig.
Yeah, they have this big thing. It looks like all the other spires, but I guess it's being used as a drill.
Yeah, it looks like when we've talked about viruses, like the Horde using things that are like look like viruses before. When we talked about Impulse, how they had a robot that put its legs down and drilled in.
Yeah, and how everything in the world is made of crystals. Crystal drill, crystal spire, crystal probe, crystal breakfast cereal.
Crystal breakfast, Crystal the flamethrower.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so we have this, like, we don't know what it's for yet. We just know that there's some drill nastiness, looks like a virus, bad things are afoot
and
here.
right now it's just being maintained entirely by bots, all the Battlestar Galactica bots. Right now there's no clones.
Yep, no clones, just bots. No clones, only bots.
For now.
And then we get to this, do you want to discuss this next, like, scene cut? Because it's badass.
Sure. So we've got this, Horde camp and all the bots marching around. And then incoming, we have this massive pink tornado of wrath.
Amazing.
With, Spinny at the top. She is back to take her vengeance on these assholes.
Uh-huh.
And then we have this barrage of ice missiles that comes shooting out of the pink tornado, takes out the first wave of bots. Boom. And then all our buddies come shooting out of the tornado in all their power poses. Shazam.
Yes, I also have this as power poses. I love this. Yeah, this reminded me of when I was a kid and I would buy like X-Men comics, and there would be like the 2-page like centerfold, and it's all everybody get in their power poses, showing their powers before going into battle.
That is exactly, yes.
It's so rad.
Yeah, and the movement, like the way that they capture sort of the lyricality of each character's movement into their different battle poses. Like they swoop out in their different and equally badass ways. And they just they use the animation to accentuate their different styles and strength and their complementary motions. Like they're all swooping in different ways and the directions all flow together. It's just really beautiful.
It's so cool. I've in case you are wondering, I've watched this show many times.
Oh, interesting.
And you know what, Jenny? I have watched this episode a lot. Like a lot. Probably more than other episodes, save the Cat, maybe Princess Prom, and a couple other ones. And I did not notice this until this time around. So there's always something new to see on the She-Ra.
There is always something new to see. What did you see?
This like power pose thing, and like I never really like took it in. I was like, oh shit, this like whole power pose thing, and how they're both, the movement as you were just talking about, and how it was accentuating their different powers and what they were bringing in, and you could see pretty much all of them equally, and it's just very cool.
Yeah, it is wonderful. It's a great, because we and all the characters that have been feeling very heavy for quite a while now. And now they're getting juiced up again. And it's like, yeah, we all rule. This is going to be awesome. Bah, we're going to kick some ass.
Absolutely. They had a great breakfast. They're ready to kick ass and take names and take chips.
And of course, one of the people best suited to lead that charge of like fuck yeah vibes is Frosta.
Love it.
As she lands, they all land in their badass action poses, and as Frosta lands, she yells, "Hey, bot faces, come and get us!" And all the bots come a-running.
Yeah, and then they all do some badass fighty fights. I love Natasha and Spinnerella are back together, doing their duo ass kicking together. It's incredible.
Yep.
Wrong Hordak even does his thing where he does shitty spy work. It's his brothers. It is I, a faithful acolyte of Horde Prime, just like you. And they go, what? And then Bird Horse just like, kicks them both.
Yes. It's so great. His moment there. I wrote that he appears and finds the only 2 clones in this whole place, because right now it's all bots, and approaches them with this air of mild to moderate euphoria because he's so happy that he's found his place in this new world order.
Yeah.
And he's distinguishable as always from the other clones by his messy punk boy hair.
I was going to say his hair.
And he delivers his line, which you delivered perfectly, so I won't repeat it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the clones look at each other in mild confusion, like, my uncle? I thought he was your uncle.
Who's this? What the fuck? Who's this dude?
Yeah. And all he does is sort of give him a little push. And then Swifty does his one. And then Swifty kicked them.
And then Swifty kicked them. And then he gave his wink.
Yes. And then he finally does the wink correctly.
We love him. Character growth.
Yes. And then Entrapta jumps down from Swifty, praises Wrong Hordak for doing his part.
Good job.
And then she runs inside the thing that is not the spire with her briefcase O'Toole's.
Yep.
And that's when, Wrong Hordak does his correct wink. And so many good vibes. Everybody's in the zone. This is all going so great. Upbeat battle tunes. In case there's any confusion about the vibes are so good.
Totally. Cast is having a great time.
Yeah, everybody is doing so great.
Yep. One of my favorite Seahawk lines when he stabs someone, perforation. Fantastic.
Oh my God, yes.
Love him. I love the whole yelling the thing you're doing.
Yes. Yes.
So, and I also have taken that on whenever, if I'm like vacuuming, I'm like, vacuum!
Yeah, even Aunt Casta is having fun. She thinks this is so exciting.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling this is the first time she's ever really been in the heat of battle, because, she doesn't usually leave her ivory tower life.
I completely agree. I actually have that written too. I'm like, she's just having a blast, just like being there and like using her magic for battle.
Yes. For practical purposes.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. So after Seahawk yells perforation as he's doing his thing, Perfuma beside him gives us some maybe unnecessary exposition, but it's still good to refocus. She reminds us that we have to keep their attention on us until Entrapta can finish.
Mm-hmm.
So what's Entrapta up to now?
Well, she's dodging clones. She's inside. She's going through the hallways. She's trying to get to the Emerald City here.
Yeah, I think the way she gets in, though, is really funny because this episode is mostly very heavy. So we have to take our funny moments when we can. Because first she's hiding behind this metal pillar, working on her little pad quietly, like she's being stealthy. And a door opens behind her and a clone comes running out very dramatically, like totally doesn't see her at all, just runs right past her. But then she pops up screaming like a big dork, not that I would do any better, runs through the open door and uses one of her little tools to close the force field and short circuit the lock. And she goes, phew! Like, it's all very big and like, wow!
Yeah, it's very Entrapta coming in and exploding wonderful energy all over the place.
Yeah. So, woo, she did that. And then as soon as she gets inside and she looks around at this, like, this is like her ultimate, like, Christmas morning fantasy playroom full of every piece of amazing tech she could ever want. And for a second, she's just so overwhelmed with how amazing it is. She's just like, whoa. But then she immediately gets herself back on track. And she does this little, like, she squishes her cheeks with her hair. And she's just like, like, no. We have a very important reason that why we're here. And we're just going to do the thing.
I love that part where she's like, no. Pull it together, Entrapta. Let's do this.
Yes, that's major character growth for her.
Good for her. I love everyone. I'm just going to keep saying that. They're so good.
And the last thing she does is something I also find very relatable. She plugs her shit in and gets right down to it. And she's literally out loud telling herself, you got this. You got this. And she's like talking to herself, which is something I also do when I'm overexcited.
Yeah. Aww.
So I love that.
I love that too. Good job.
Little vocal stem.
Love her.
Yeah. So she is on task. We do not have to worry.
We do not have to worry. And so now we go back to the Crystal Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Yeah. So our best friend squad buddies are still walking down this extremely long corridor covered in First One's glyphs, leading theoretically to the Heart of Etheria. Yeah. So the tone here is not awesome vibes like it was back in the scene we just left.
No, it's total vibe shift here.
Yeah. Adora is introspective and sad, and Glimmer is picking up on it.
Yeah, and, Glimmer reads it as, hey, are you scared? And, yeah, of course she's scared, but she's She-Ra, so she can't be scared. So she says, no, I just really hope this works.
Mm-hmm. And Bo says, it's okay, Adora. We'll be with you the whole way. When we get back, it'll be a whole new world. Mm-hmm. And I know we've said this a million times before, but it really bears repeating in these final episodes. She's in She-Ra form. And they still call her Adora. They always call her Adora. Her name is not She-Ra.
Yeah.
They always recognize her personhood first.
Yes, that's a really good point. Because they're friends.
Yes. But so it's important to remember that she's in She-Ra form, but we're still going to call her Adora.
Yes. So, oh gosh, Jenny.
I know.
Did you hear that?
I didn't hear. Did you hear something?
Yeah, I heard Catra laughing in the distance.
Oh, yeah. Adora definitely heard that, but the others didn't seem to hear anything. So Adora hears Catra laughing in the distance, and she takes off immediately.
She books it. She sees a smiling, lighthearted, like love-eyed Catra.
Yeah, Catra turns to her with this incredibly sweet and unguarded smile, and she says, hey, Adora, in this way that Adora has absolutely been waiting to hear for fucking ever.
Yes, and I think this is my favorite Hey Adora.
I think so. I think it's mine. It's one of mine too. The other one of mine that is my favorite is when she wakes up on the floor of Mara's ship after having been revived from Adora's magical lesbian hero powers at the end of Save the Cat. I think these two are both fantastic.
I love this one because this is the Catra of Adora's heart. This is the soft and loving and mischievous Catra.
Yes.
The one that Adora knows.
Yes.
The one that Adora's heart knows.
Yes. It's so good.
Oh, it's so good. And Adora's so happy. She's like, Catra, you came. And then we hear kind of Bo in the distance, but we have this fantastic scene.
Yeah, because Adora looks away for a second when she hears Bo calling. And in that brief second that she looks away, that's when the scene glitches. And it changes around her like a TV screen. Because she's, we're in the Crystal Castle. We're in the holodeck, basically.
Right, exactly. Yes. Good example. We're kind of in the holodeck. And so when she turns back to look at Catra, we see this fantastic scene of Catra walking towards her, and it's all of these different iterations of Catra. We have young scruffy Catra, we have teenage Catra, we have her current self on Prime ship, we have Fright Zone Catra.
And she's smiling at Adora through all of these changes. She's always smiling.
And then gayest moment, gonna get into it, but just, putting it, hanging on there, gayest moment. She faces Adora, cups her face, and pulls Adora's face in, like they're going in for a kiss, very much. When they do like a forehead, like they press their foreheads together, and then disappears.
Also, it's important to note, as soon as they press their foreheads together, that's when Adora loses her She-Ra form.
Yes.
And she shifts back into herself.
When Catra disappears, she's still holding the part of her face where Catra's hands cupped her.
Yeah. And when Catra disappears and the whole scene disappears, and then she's back in the real room that she's in, it's just an empty hallway. And she's literally standing on the precipice of this giant void. That's where she really is. And then she's back in her She-Ra form.
Let's talk about this a little more.
Yeah.
Gayest moment, obviously. Right? This is the gayest moment, right?
Obviously. Fucking gutting.
The whole scene it's gay and it's gutting. And this scene has always been for me. You've loved her the whole time, girl. Like, you have loved every single version of Catra, and your memories and your heart is showing you this. And then the actual face hold of love. We very rarely see the face hold lovingly. It's almost always used manipulatively.
Yes.
And so we actually see this phenomenal moment of tenderness between the two of them where she holds Adora's face and looks up at her eyes and has these this just incredible softness and love. It's like she's channeling all the love out of her heart and putting it through her eyes. And then she does kitty bonks. Yeah. And then she does kitty bonks, right? Which if you are a cat person, like as you probably know, Jenny and I are, you know that when kitties show deep love and trust, they bonk their forehead on you. And it's like getting a kiss. It's like a kitty kiss. And this is Adora getting a kiss from Catra.
Yeah, I mean, my interpretation of what the Crystal Castle is doing, basically, by putting her through this, is that it's preying on her emotions and looking for a weakness. And her deepest desire is that it would be okay for her to be just Adora and to be with Catra, and that would be enough. And that if she gives into that right now, it could literally lure her into the void and just walk off a cliff.
Fantastic.
And, you know, that the truth is that she can't be just Adora and she can't have a normal life and just be with the person she loves and be strong at the same time. Like, the Crystal Castle is trying to prey on that human weakness, the human weakness that it's okay to just be a person and be with the person you love. Because if she gives into that right now, she's going to fall into the void.
Right. I think that both of what we said marries together very nicely.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's you're right. Because the Crystal Castle, as we've learned, is manipulating.
Yes, exactly. It's manipulating her and trying to prey on her human weaknesses, her, Etherian human weaknesses.
Her Etherian human weaknesses, and this is digging up the stuff that she's held, right? Because that's what it's good. It gets your deepest dreams and desires, right?
Yeah, and again, it's not fair. She's entitled to have human feelings, but again, fairness has no meaning in the context of her life.
Absolutely.
And the look she's about to have a second later, this is Bo and Glimmer come booping over, hey girl, you're going the wrong way. Trail's back over here. And then the look on her face in that moment, sad is not a big enough word. You were at a loss for words a moment ago. I'm at a loss for words to describe this look on her face in this moment where she's like, oh fuck, that wasn't real. And I almost walk off the cliff because of it.
Yeah, it's like somebody turned her soul inside out.
Yeah, this is a big CPTSD moment. The look on her face, it's the internal monologue of oh, again, haha, you're so stupid. I can't believe you actually thought that you could be happy.
You don't get to be happy.
Yeah. You know what's real for you. And it's just this giant pit of darkness and despair. Yeah, that you almost walked into because you thought you could actually be happy for a second. Ha ha ha, you're so stupid.
So fucked up, Jenny.
It's so fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
But she only gets to dwell in that for a second because she has to keep going.
She has to swallow it down.
Yeah, she's always done. And that's a survival skill. So she scrunches up her face. She has that gutted expression for an extended moment. And then she just scrunches up her face and she's like, nope. This is not, I can't process this right now. I'm just going to push it down. And then she puts her tough girl mask back on.
Yeah, it's like she's crushing this with her face.
Yes, compressing it.
She's compressing it so she could swallow it.
Yes.
Right? And then she's back to her hero, her big damn hero.
Yes.
It looks like this place can still project memories.
Yes. We can't let it distract us.
Yeah. And, she says memories, but this is projecting desires.
Yep. And then as she walks past them, she briefly detransitions again, just for a second.
Yep. She blinks in and out.
Bo and Glimmer don't say anything because, what is there to say?
Right. What do you say to your friend that's going through this? Right.
There's no time for a therapy session right now.
There's really no time for a therapy session right now. Sometimes you don't have time to just sit down and be like, so I'm having these feelings right now, and I just really need to take a moment to process them, which is really healthy, but sometimes you have to save the world.
Yeah.
It sucks. So we go back to Catra, unless you have anything else to add to this.
No. Go back. Let's go back to Horde camp.
We go back to Catra. She's trailing a clone. She sees, the notes I have here are symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, all those first ones, etchings that have been on the walls in the Crystal Castle are the same ones that are on the ground all around that Horde camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they extend out a certain perimeter out from all around the Horde camp. And she sees this giant crystal probe with all the clones looking very culty as they stand around it, especially with the sounds of whispered chanting. And Homegirl's appropriately freaked out, as are we all.
Yeah, we're all definitely freaked out because this is fucking creepy. So, okay, I didn't understand this part. Maybe you understood this part where the clone takes off the cowl and there's the chip in his neck. Why did we have to see the chip?
Yeah, I didn't really notice or pay attention to the fact that he took off his hood as a specific thing that was part of the story. I didn't notice that. What I noticed was that, like, oh, he got some sort of clone heebie-jeebies that was like he sensed that something was there. Like he sensed her presence even though he couldn't see her.
So you think he like took off his like hood to like get better peripheral vision? Okay.
I didn't pick up on what you were picking up on.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I didn't know what I was picking up on. I think that makes sense. That makes sense for the storytelling.
Yeah, I just felt like he had a sense that something was there even though he couldn't see it, and then it made Prime tap into him and be like, "Oh, I'm taking over now. I got to see what's here." Cuz Prime irises going into his eyes was an indicator that Prime was in residence. And be like, "Oh, I'm going to take a look now." But he still couldn't see anything.
Yep.
Cuz obviously Catra was invisible. So then he's like, oh, I guess nothing's there. And then he continues on his way.
Yeah. Catra was invisible with magic, not technology.
That's right.
And we know that magic is Horde Prime's weakness.
That's correct, my friend.
Gotta get a couple more magics in there before the end.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of magic in this episode. Oh, yes. So he marches right up to this central control panel area of the probe, which he also kind of treats as an altar from which he will preach unto his acolytes. So this is still Prime in this clone. He's got the Prime irises, and so he does a little speechifying. He says, "My brothers, the time has come at last. No longer shall Shira stand in my way. The heart shall be laid bare, its power mine for the taking." And then all the clones start creepily chanting in unison. "Cast out the shadows, bring the universe to Prime's light. Cast out the shadows, bring the universe to Prime's light." And they keep chanting, which is super fun for everybody. And then we have a quick cut so we can see Prime himself. We have a quick cut over to the mothership and we see Prime. He's all hooked up to all his glowing green tubies giving this speech that is talking through that clone down in Etheria as he gazes into what is either a model or his control panel of the Heart of Etheria on the ship.
Yeah, I couldn't distinguish which one it was either.
Yeah, it's either a model that's just giving him a visual representation or it is actually a working control panel. It doesn't really matter. But it's part of this, we are seeing what is happening in the heart. And then he has his arms upraised like some kind of demented preacher. Prime exclaims, "Begin the acquisition process."
Such good, villain shit going on here.
Yeah, and then back down below on Etheria, the clone who is channeling him just boops the one really big button in the middle of the control panel, and the probe starts to glow impressively up at the top, and the crystal part down at the bottom begins to lower closer down to the ground, and Catra is still watching and is appropriately horrified. And when the bottom end of the probe is almost touching the ground, the Prime clone boops the button again, and the probe begins to spin very fast, because that is how drills work. It's a giant crystal drill. And this giant circle of clones, meanwhile, is still standing around the edge of the drilling area doing their creepy chant as this drill fully locks into place, and we get this super dramatic swell of apocalypse music.
I agree. The music here is fucking nuts.
Yeah. It's like you definitely know from the music that this is some end of the world shit.
And it's some end of the world clock ticking shit. Okay, the drill is obviously going to take a while to get to where it needs to get, so we have time to let our hero know.
Yeah. And as the drill starts to go into the ground, this bright green glow that started in the drill goes into all those glyphs that we mentioned that are etched into the ground. And they extend all the way out through that central area, all the way to where Catra is still watching in the shadows and beyond, all the way out into the forest. So Catra sees all this, jumps on Milog's back, tears off at top speed to warn Adora. Because obviously,
like, at the very least, it's what you need to do for the battle.
Yeah, she's not just gonna let this happen. Yeah, she has decided the world is worth saving. Especially her favorite person in this world.
Sure. I mean, can you blame her?
Absolutely not.
So now we're back at the Crystal Castle.
Adora is still just phasing in and out of She-Ra form as they walk and trying to pretend nothing is happening.
Yep.
Like, la la la, this is fine.
Yep. La la la, nothing's happening. All of a sudden, the holodeck puts them in the forest where the sword is. The original sword.
Yes, this is, back to the beginning. Speaking of, it's sticking out of its little tangle of vines in its Excalibur shaft of golden light. This is, her first memory of the sword.
Yeah, this is the moment her life changed. And this is when she made the choice.
So Bo and Glimmer finally catch up to her and ask if she's okay. And she doesn't even look at them. She just keeps staring at the sword.
Yeah.
So eventually she says, I think I know. This place is responding to my memories. I think I'm doing this. And Bo says, so why here? And how do we get out? And Adora says, when I broke the sword, I thought I could make my own destiny, but I can't. It was always going to end like this. And then as she walks toward the sword, these massive thorny vines spring up under her feet, like a dark version of Perfuma's vines that spring up under her feet as she walks.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And then Glimmer starts to panic and she says, what do you mean end? Adora, like she's panicking. And they try to get closer, but the thorny vines rise up and block their path. Yeah, and Adora, at this point, she's crying and she's phasing in and out. And she says, I'm losing her. I'm distracted and confused and I'm scared and I can't be any of those things if this is going to work. And she just stands there for a minute with tears streaming down her face. And she says, I need to go the rest of the way by myself.
Yeah, it's gutting.
It's gutting. And Bo says, Adora, no, you don't have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still in She-Ra form at this point. And she turns to look at them over her shoulder. And she has this calm now, even though she's still crying.
Yeah.
And she says with a smile, I love you guys so much. I never could have done any of this without you. Thank you for being the best friends anyone could ask for. And Glimmer cries out Adora and tries to run to her, but there's just no way to reach her. Adora reaches out, grabs the sword hilt, and there's a blinding flash of light that fills the whole clearing, just like when she grabbed the sword hilt for the first time for real in the pilot. A blinding flash of light filled the clearing that time. And Bo and Glimmer are momentarily blinded, and when they open their eyes again, Adora and the sword are gone. And then there's a big old rumble, like a little earthquake, and the room glitches back into its true form, which is just Crystal Castle. Glimmer's thrown off balance. She goes down on one knee. Bo kneels down next to her, and they just hug while they both cry. So the very last thing that happens in that scene that is important is that after Bo and Glimmer just have their moment to be sad because Adora has left and they're back in, the Crystal Castle unadorned without the holodeck, all the peaceful bisexual lighting suddenly turns sinister green, which oddly mirrors the green at the clone drill, even though it's not the same. It's the same color. It turns green and black, and there's a sinister tech sound. It just does not bode well. Something's happening.
It's like
yeah. It's some bad tech sounds that do not bode well. Yeah. So we leave them there dealing with their shit, and we boop on back to the rebel hideout, where Catra has just come tearing in an absolutely frantic state.
Oh boy.
But of course, no one is there except Wine Mom Shadow Weaver.
Wine Mom Shadow Weaver. So I have a little bit of a fun fact here about this.
Oh, please. Let's hear it.
Okay, so Shadow Weaver is just sitting there getting wasted. Like this, she's just sitting there drinking a wine, being like, she's not here.
She didn't feel the need to go help save the world. She's just going to sit here and get drunk.
So, pretty sure that this is the least drunk reading that Lorraine Toussaint did for this. Nate and Lee talk about this in the 2020 live stream fundraiser they did for Black Lives Matter, which if you haven't seen it, it's pretty rad. You can find it on YouTube. It's like 5 hours of them just dropping deep Shira lore, though. And like a lot of fun, like behind the scenes stuff. And one of the things that they did mention was that this absolutely was directed for her to sound drunk. And this was the least drunk sounding.
Interesting. Yeah, she definitely does slur a bit.
Yeah. And she doesn't sober up either. Like
they didn't really get her drunk, though.
No. In fact, they were talking about how, like, you know, she's Lorraine Toussaint. She's a phenomenal actor. And say they were just like, all right, take the drunk back 15%. She was like, okay, how's this? Like, she's just acting. And one of the things I learned from an acting teacher a long time ago is that acting convincingly drunk is very difficult.
Yeah, no. I mean, Lorraine Toussaint obviously is a fucking master.
She's a fucking master. Like, she's a phenomenal actor. And so, you know, when you're directing and you're like, Lorraine, can you kind of take that back like 15%? And she's like, okay, how about this take? She's not here. You know? Yeah, it's incredible. So she's amazing. So just a little bit of fun fact in here before we get to Heartbreak and the ultimate confrontation, where Catra says, what do you mean she's not here? Where is she? Catra's pissed.
Yeah, she is finally ready to throw down. Because she's finally standing up to Shadow Weaver because she's not doing it for herself. She's doing it for Adora.
She's doing it for Adora.
She's never really stood up to Shadow Weaver like this before.
No. She's like snapped back at her, but the second Shadow Weaver snapped at her, she was brought back down.
Right, or she would just walk away.
No, she's standing her ground. And Shadow Weaver informs us and Catra, as villains want to do, and especially our good pal Shadow Weaver, that Adora has gone to the Heart of Etheria to free the magic and become the hero she was born to be. Mm-hmm. If you are still so selfish as to try and stop, and then Catra just stops her dead in her tracks.
Yeah, she has had enough. She is not about this abusive family bullshit anymore because it is not about them. It is literally about what Prime is doing right now. And so then we cut back over real quick to the mothership. We see Prime still hooked up to all his big boy tubies.
Oh, look at him and his big boy tubies.
The model or control panel question mark of the Heart of Etheria swirling all around in front of him as a clone tells him, the last of Etheria's security protocols have been breached. Lord Prime, planetary acquisition, is at 20%. And Prime laughs maniacally and the apocalypse music continues. Bah! And then we cut over to the control room with Entrapta, where she is feverishly hard at work. She's so close, she's almost got it. And then, oh no, she gets beamed out right into Prime's throne room. And she materializes right next to the clone who has been carrying out all of Prime's orders this whole time. And Prime doesn't even turn to look at her. She's beneath his observation even. He has his back to them. He's so busy with his whole mass genocide project.
Yes, yeah. But he still has enough energy to, you know, give some villain speech. Welcome, little rebel. You're just in time to witness the end of your world. Mm-hmm. And I have written in my notes here, this is not boyfriend.
That is very true. But the clone that is there with him looks like he's maybe not so happy about hearing this. He looks down at Entrapta. He's like, oh no. So I wonder what that's about.
I don't know.
That might come up again in the next episode.
It might, but Horde Prime is not boyfriend.
No, Horde Prime is not boyfriend.
No.
And so we go from there. There's a lot of, you know, bouncing back and forth from this point out. From there, we go back down to the ground battle.
Ground battle.
Spinny and Natasha are still kicking all the ass. They're having so much fun. Mm-hmm. But literally, as soon as they finish kicking all that ass, like 1,000 more clones beam in all around them and they're completely surrounded. So it's like, no matter how much ass they kick, there's like an infinite supply of these assholes.
Yeah, there's an infinite supply of ass to kick, and they don't really have an infinite amount of ass to kick with.
Yeah. I mean, our pals are not disposable like these clones are.
Exactly.
So our pals end up in sort of a tight circle. You know, we've got Perfuma, Frosta, Seahawk, and Casta all backing up into a tight circle with Spinny and Atassa. And Frosta asks why they're not shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But just then, a tide of water laps over their feet, and we know what this means.
This is bad news. This is bad news bears.
Yes, it's our least favorite evil tag team of Chipped, Mermista, and Scorpia.
However, very efficient, because while Mermista fills the whole crater here with water, Scorpia puts down a little zappy claw, and we all know what happens when water and electricity meet.
Yep, they all just go down like bowling pins all at once.
They go down like bowling pins. They just get zap electrocuted there. But only really enough to like knock them down.
Yeah, it doesn't kill them. Nobody ever shoots to kill on the show.
No.
It's just a temporary stun. And so then we see Perfuma, out of one half open twitchy eye, looks up to see the giant, like 300-foot hologram projection of Prime as it projects up over the closest spire as he delivers his latest malediction to the people of Etheria. He holds his arms up like he likes to do. He says, "Rejoice, Etheria, for your day of reckoning has come. I offered you mercy, but you have spurned my good graces. So be it." And then he pulls Entrapta over by her hair, and she has her hands tied behind her back. And she cries and she whispers, "I'm sorry."
It's not her fault that this guy's fucking evil.
And then he says, "Your resistance has been for naught. Your She-Ra has abandoned you. All that is left for your world is a terrible and eternal night."
Damn.
And it's really, really, really fucked.
It's really fucked. They don't get to have the light of Horde Prime. So when you don't get to have the light of Horde Prime, you get to have the eternal night of the void. You don't really have any choice there.
Yeah. I think the light of Horde Prime would have probably been just as bad. Either way, door 1 and door 2.
Yeah, you're fucked either way.
Yeah. And so Catra and Shadow Weaver, who are walking through the woods, have also seen this because, again, he's 300 feet tall. And Catra immediately gets in Shadow Weaver's face and demands that she take them both to Adora right fucking now.
Yeah. And Shadow Weaver says, well, she can't. She's too far away. We'll never reach her in time. And Catra brings up no, use your magic. I know you have more power than you're letting on. Mm-hmm. And Shadow Weaver tries to talk her way out of it, saying, no, it doesn't work that way. And Catra's beyond frazzled right now, right? And she's pissed. She's like, you've done it before when you abandoned me in the Fright Zone. And you've always been able to track us our whole lives. So do something good with it and help me save Adora before it's too late.
Yeah, and she's never stood up to Shadow Weaver like this. Like, she has tears in her eyes. But she is not backing down.
She's not backing down.
And for once, I think this is the first time this has ever happened, Shadow Weaver is the one who steps back from Catra.
Yeah. Yep. And then Shadow Weaver brings out her magic pixie fairy dust. Is that just the magic pixie fairy dust that takes you to Adora?
I think it's her magical energy booster to make her magic stronger.
So it makes her magic stronger so she can be like, doop, doop, doop. I found Adora on the radar and we can take us to there, right?
No, I just think it makes her teleportation stronger so they can go a larger distance.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is significant or not. We have a close up on Shadow Weaver holding out her hand to Catra.
Yes, which we've never seen before.
And Catra has to take Shadow Weaver's hand.
Yep. Oof. That's rough for her.
Which is rough, but she does it because it's for Adora. And also I have a bullet that it's worth noting. The apocalypse music now has given way to high stakes, maybe possibly moment of truth type music when we have this moment between Catra and Shadow Weaver. It's very anxiety driving, but it's oh, maybe something could happen here. It's very high stakes, but it's no longer that doomy apocalypse terrifying music.
Like, we are at moments of truth here. This is the truthiest moments we're ever going to truth.
Yeah. And so Katris takes that step and she takes Shadow Weaver's hand.
Yep, she takes the leap into faith.
So now we're back at the Crystal Castle.
And Bo is like, Catra, where did you come from?
Bo and Glimmer are frantically running after Adora down this everlasting hallway that suddenly turns evil Horde Prime colors. And then suddenly this big old portal appears in front of them. And Catra, Milog, and Shadow Weaver poof out of it. And Catra, like, grabs Glimmer by the shoulders and practically shouts, "Where's Adora?"
Yeah, and Glimmer says she left us. She headed to the Heart on her own.
Yeah, she's practically sobbing.
Everybody here is practically sobbing. And if I don't keep my cool as one of your fine hosts of this, I will also be practically sobbing.
Yeah, we're paid the big bucks to keep it together.
So Glimmer's sobbing, says she left us. She headed to the Heart on her own, and Catra is just not surprised, but still absolutely crushed.
Yeah, her response is so great. Like, her expression, I wrote that she's equal parts exasperated and terrified. She says, yeah, of course she's gone. That's what she does, isn't it? It's like she's not mad the way she was before. It's like she gets it, but she's like, will you just let me save you already? And just then there's another big rumble. And this time actual small bits of the ceiling are like crumbling and falling on them. Like, there is some shit happening in this building.
And Bo asks Catra, what's going on? And Catra lets them know that Horde Prime is onto you. He's hacking the planet. All of this is from him. And Bo puts it together that he's going to take the Heart. Catra does a little more exposition, letting Bo and Glimmer know that he also has Entrapta. Mm-hmm. So Bo and Glimmer put together, well, that means that the other princesses are still chipped. We just kind of have to leave here.
Yeah, we got to go get back into that fight to help.
Yeah, we got to go to the fight. And Glimmer's like, we can't. We have to, like, be here for Adora.
Right.
And Catra tells Glimmer, I'll stay.
Mm-hmm. There's a really great shot at this moment, the way it's framed up visually. We're mostly looking at Bo and Glimmer, but it's framed on the side of the frame by a close-up of Catra, just like the side of her leg and her clenched fist, which is her clenched fist is shaking from how hard she's clenching it. And it's just a really good visual to show how Catra's feeling in this moment and her urgency of how much she needs to find Adora.
Jenny, we have Catra's resolute fist here.
Yeah.
We've for so long, we have only seen Adora's resolute fist. Now we have a Catra resolute fist. Mm-hmm. So Catra has her resolute fist, and the way that AJ delivers this line is fantastic. She knows how to tone shift for Catra so well.
Yes.
She almost spits this out. I can't lose her, okay? And then brings it back down a little bit and says, I promised her a long time ago that I'd look out for her. It's time I made good on that.
Yes, promise!
What? Promise?
Yeah, and my next bullet is about her body language. Like, you talked about the tone shift vocally, which is all AJ, and it's magnificent. And they also do a really good job of animating it because her body language changes so much as she's talking. She goes from totally frantic with these big gesticulations to like ears down, holding one arm with the other, this kind of calm inner certainty of like, this is what I am doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it all goes together so seamlessly. And Bo and Glimmer are down with all of this.
They're down with all of us, and we cannot move on without pointing this out. Gayest moment.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And it's gay, and I'm crying, and I'm also gay. Everything is gay and crying here. And then we have a fantastic moment. I love these two. I love their friendship. I think they're fantastic. They also kind of have like they have a Boston Buddies type of thing going on.
Yes, yes. Take care of her, Horde scum.
That's the plan, Sparkles. They're great.
Yeah, they're either gonna beat each other up or make out at some point. If they didn't already.
I love that about them. They just have great chemistry. This part is really wonderful because Catra says, like I said, that's the plan, Sparkles, and says, good luck. And Bo is the four of us don't need luck. We're the best friend squad.
Yes, as he joins the hug. This is a big group queer buddies hug. And then Milog joins in too because he wants to be part of the hug. And he meows.
Yeah, and Milog meows, and Catra actually, like, smiling and being part of this hug. Catra is accepting this love.
Yes.
Before, it's been very much like, your friends, they suck.
Yeah, and she would sort of stiffly tolerate it, but now she's really accepting it. Yeah, but this was uncomfortable for her before. She didn't know how to be in relationship with this kind of camaraderie.
This was uncomfortable for her before, and she thought that these friends of hers were, of Adora's, were kind of dorky for all of this. And now she doesn't. And she's accepting the love, because love, Jenny, isn't dorky. Okay, it can be dorky, but, like, that's okay.
Dorky love is great, though.
Dorky love is great. It's okay to be a little cringe.
It is.
It's okay to be cringe.
It's okay to be a big gay dork.
Oh, and then Catra says to her kitty, get them there safe.
And that's why my next bullet is she really is part of the gang because she's trusting them with her kitty.
Yes, you don't just leave your cat with a stranger.
God, no.
Milog meows in affirmation, and the three of them teleport to the Horde camp.
Yep. So much queer fam.
And, when they get there, Bo and Glimmer have a wonderful moment where they have their quick debrief. Okay, go help the princesses. I'll handle the signal. And Glimmer just pulls him in and just, like, lays on his chest and squeezes him.
Yes.
And says, Bo, I love you. I love you. And you can tell as she's saying it, she's working it out too. She's like, oh, that I love you.
Yeah.
And Bo says, I love you too. And he kisses her on the forehead.
And I really like that it's a forehead kiss.
Me too.
And they don't force it to be this big, romantic, sexy moment.
No, I completely agree. I have that as well. It's just, not that there's anything wrong with a big, romantic, sexy moment.
No. But, like, it doesn't have to be that.
And it's not their moment. Like, that's not who gets the big romantic moment in this, right? Like, the protagonist gets the big romantic moment. They get, like, small moments of love. And it's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
I love them so much.
Oh, I love them so much too. And this is something that Aria and I discussed in our Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl bonus app. That, it can be a little bit tiresome to see, like, every happy ending has to equal coupling off.
Yes.
And there could be other types of happy endings that aren't about coupling off.
Uh-huh.
And that for Aria, it was a little disappointing to see that Bo and Glimmer had to be coupled off. And I said, well, they could be, a romantic ace couple. Like, they could just be the world's best snugglers. Like, we've never seen them kiss on the mouth. And of course, like, that's probably not what was intended, but it's like, people can love each other and it doesn't always have to be sexual.
I definitely see that. We have a lot of coupling off at the end of this, and it is about love, like this whole thing is about love, right?
But love doesn't have to be sexual love.
Or that level of that type of physicality, just because people are like.
Yeah, like they can have a romantic, intimate relationship that's still ace, hypothetically.
Yeah.
And of course, even that, like, the idea that there has to be coupley love can be limiting and frustrating for people who are arrow ace and don't have any representation. And that's something that's still lacking in media representation, of course.
Yeah.
But I like that they're shown as loving without it having to be overtly sexual.
And, this is so good. So after Bo kisses her forehead and they have their snuggle, he pulls back and he says, be careful, okay? And we have Glimmer say almost the exact same thing that Catra said.
I have that too!
Me? I'm always careful.
It really mirrors, what Catra and Adora say to each other when Adora tells Catra to be careful and she says, always am. And then Glimmer really takes a moment to enjoy watching Bo walk away before she power poofs out. It's a great ending note for them to, like, feel good about shit before they have to go their separate ways.
Okay, so they go their separate ways, and then we have this incredibly key scene. And Jenny, I would actually love to hear you talk about this, because I know that this is a scene that really resonates with you so strongly.
Oh, sure. Let me just grab an ice cream scoop and I'll just scoop my heart out.
Jenny, I will be there for you. Don't worry. But I also know that this scene is so important.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this scene is so important.
Yeah.
For everyone, obviously. But yeah, I really connect with this scene. So we have this fade to white, and then we have Adora in She-Ra form. We have a close-up on her opening her eyes, her glowing blue magic eyes. And she gazes out over this apparently idyllic Etherian landscape. And the music right now is also this very schmoopy, idyllically magical theme music that we've heard before. It's very like, ooh. You know, everything is idyllic and magical and perfect and, you know, peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And she just sort of smiles, taking it all in. And she's standing at the edge of this cliff, enjoying the peace and beauty of the scene for a moment, before she's joined by someone that she's never gotten to stand side by side with before. It's Mara She-Ra.
What? Another She-Ra?
Yeah, and they stand there peacefully side by side for a moment, looking out at Etheria together. And then Adora says, and they're not looking at each other, they're both just gazing out at Etheria together.
Yeah. Side by side.
Yeah, Adora says, I'm going to save Etheria, no matter what it takes. Your sacrifice won't be in vain, I promise. And so Adora still feels like she owes this sacrifice to everyone, even Mara, who's been dead for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Nobody owes her anything. She owes everyone else everything.
Yeah.
That's her mental state.
Yeah.
And my last bullet for her there is all caps, baby girl.
Baby girl.
You know, I feel it so deeply.
Yeah.
And so Mara says, but at what cost? I never wanted to die. I sacrificed myself so you would never have to. Why are you doing this, Adora?
Oh.
And Adora, she can't even look at Mara. She's looking down. She says, it's better this way. My friends will be safe. They'll be happy. And then Mara puts her hand on Adora's face. Finally, the opposite of Shadow Weaver's creepy, manipulative face touch.
Yeah.
This is a genuine, loving face touch. And then Mara says, and you? What do you want when this is all over?
Oh.
And, you know, Catcher has asked her this too, and she has dodged the question. She says, it doesn't matter. I'm She-Ra. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I feel like her resolve might already be shifting a little because she says supposed to and not have to.
Oh.
I don't know. Because to me, have to implies absolute inevitability. I have to do this or everyone will die, versus supposed to implies other people's expectations and other people's plans, but not necessarily ultimate inevitability.
Oh, excellent find. Yeah. Because she's talking to Mara about this, right? Yeah.
Right. The one person who could understand. It's a tiny shift. But again, like in the past, we've talked about when you shift these deeply ingrained things, it doesn't happen all at once.
Right. Also, when you're writing a script, every word is a choice. Right. When you're making something creative, everything is a choice. Whether it's a conscious choice, that could be debated, but this is a choice that the writer made to say supposed to. Yeah. No, fantastic catch.
Thank you. So at that point, this is the first time the scene glitches around them. And Mara takes both of Adora's hands in hers and looks so sincerely into her eyes. And Mara says, and this is, you know, the line that destroys everyone, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I, cry like a baby every time I see this. Mara says, you're worth more than what you can give to other people. You deserve love too. And of course, Adora tears up. And she says, you're so close, Adora. Don't give up yet.
I just want to interject here.
No,
this
please.
Is something that so many of us raised in very particular cultural contexts need to hear. That you don't have to sacrifice yourself. You're worth more than your self-sacrifice, and you deserve love. And that's so fucking hard for so many people to internalize. I just wanted to say, hey, I need to hear that.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I think we all do need to hear that.
There's been a wave in recent years of people in our generation breaking ties with their parents in a way that I don't think has happened significantly in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of conversation around it.
Yeah.
And I think part of it, a lot of it has to do with politics. But, you know, it's like politics isn't just some like theoretical thing where it's like, oh, I disagree with your beliefs and therefore I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's like people in our generation recognize like politics is about valuing our lives. Do you value our human rights? Like,
Right.
if you're going to continually vote against our human rights and then expect us to just come to your house and act like it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, you're doing harm to us consistently, continually. And, you know, and it's not, you know, there's so many other things like that. People in our generation are learning to stand up for ourselves in these really fundamental ways that are really painful.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, do you value your basic self-worth more than you value holding on to these relationships that aren't serving you and that fundamentally reproduce harm? And it's a really hard choice to make. Yeah, and it's okay to say I'm worth more than what I can give to other people.
Yep, it is. You deserve love too.
You deserve love too.
We here at Adora believe that you are worth more than what you can give to other people. You deserve love too.
Because you are a precious, beautiful human being.
You are.
Yeah, I mean, after that end of that conversation, the only bullet I have about it is this shit is so gutting. I'm not sure there's any single moment in the series that speaks to me more. I literally don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I'm glad that we worked that one out together. I have one story wonky type of thing that I want to bring up is that this is an incredible subversion of the self-sacrifice of the hero trope.
Yeah.
I love that. It's treating the hero as a person. And I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that comes close to it is, you know, when Korra sacrifices herself at the end of season 3 to save the new Air Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she lets herself get captured by the bad guys and they poison her. And she doesn't die, but she takes years to recover. And she's not sure she ever will recover. And, you know, she goes into seclusion for a long time and it's really hard for her to let herself let people in again.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she has to let other people sort of take over her avatar duties in her absence. And she struggles to let her friends back in again. And, you know, that type of indelible trauma, it's like you're never going to be the same as you were before. So we love She-Ra, we love Adora, and we love Mara. We love these characters so much.
We love them. Well, you know who we don't love, Jenny.
I know who we don't love. So let's get to our big piece of shit guy. So the scene glitches again, more severely than before. And Adora drops Mara's hands and she sort of stumbles back. The color scheme around this world turns green again. Like everything in this episode is turning green now, like an old 80s computer.
Yes, I thought I had that too. I'm like, is this the Matrix? What the fuck?
Yeah. It's very 80s.
Yeah.
And Mara freezes in place, again, like a frozen computer program. And Adora asks Mara what's going on, but she can't help now because she's frozen.
Yep.
But who does answer?
Oh, it is Horde Prime. And says that, Adora, this is where you've run to hide. What?
Yeah, and I do have one bullet now for the last little bit of this scene. She's not hiding, you little bitch. It's called a private conversation.
Yeah, for real. But he doesn't allow people to have private conversations because his eyes have to be everywhere.
No, because the light of Horde Prime touches all.
Oh, God, he sucks.
Yeah, he's such a shady queen for the rest of the little bit.
Just want to say a really controversial statement here. Horde Prime sucks.
That is a controversial statement.
I know. You know, I'm always dropping truth bombs here. Not everyone can handle it. But I'm pretty confident in mine. And, you know, I don't care if I get canceled for this. I don't care if it's too woke. Horde Prime sucks.
You were edgy, but I will get behind you on that.
Thank you. We're going to win in the end.
Absolutely. I think we are.
But first,
let's back over to Horde Camp, see what's happening with our pals in battle.
Oh gosh, this is not a good battle for our pals.
No, it was before, and suddenly now it is not. But maybe if we stick with them, we could still win in the end. But right now, Chipped, Marmista, and Scorpia are giving everybody a real hard time. Perfuma says they have to retreat, but they're completely surrounded. As Natasha points out, they have nowhere to retreat to. And all the clones are raising up their laser gun arms. It's looking real bad. But just then, somebody poofs in to save the day.
So Glimmer drops in like a bomb.
Sparkle fists ablazing.
Sparkle fists the ground and just like completely levels all of the clones. It is fucking clobbering time here, folks. Glimmer is so powerful now.
Yes, this time it is the clones that all go down like bowling pins.
So she just like knocks them out, and Glimmer's like, yeah, everyone is very, very excited to see Glimmer.
Yeah, it has the same energy of when, I think it's in Save the Cat, when she comes and rescues Bo from all the clones. Or I don't remember. It was one of the episodes earlier in season 5 where she's like, I especially hate this guy. And also all the other guys I hate on the way in.
Yeah, it was Save the Cat.
Yeah. Like, I love Glimmer when she's in top form and she's feeling cocky, sparkle fists.
Yeah.
It's all good. I have one tiny bit of beef. This is stupid. I acknowledge that this is stupid. It's just a visual inconsistency. Like, because the last thing we saw before Glimmer poofed in was 2 concentric circles, an outer circle of clones completely surrounding an inner circle of our buddies. And so when Glimmer poofed in, like if she did that move that she did, there's no way for her to knock out all those clones with like an outward circle of her energy without touching all of our buddies. Like they show her, it's like she suddenly poofed into the middle of a circle of clones without any of our buddies being affected. Like where did all of our buddies go in that shot?
Well, Jenny, it's probably just magic.
I think you're right, Math.
There's probably some sort of magical way where she can like, please hit all of the clones, but not people, right? Like,
okay, that sounds right. Magically directed sparkle fists.
Yeah. But I agree. It just doesn't. It's not consistent.
Yes. But we don't need to get hung up on that.
Who cares? There's still some ass beating here, and Frost is stoked.
Yeah, she is so happy to see her big sister Glimmer.
Yep, and Glimmer's like, miss me? And Frost is like, yes, but also behind you.
Yes, behind you there's a giant-ass tsunami.
Like, listen, there's a giant-ass tsunami. You can celebrate if you want, but you still have ass to kick.
Yes, and this is definitely one of the environmental catastrophes that I have thought about more than once in passing, as someone who spent most of my life directly next to the ocean, in the age of mounting human-created environmental catastrophes. Like, yeah, there's always a possibility that a giant tsunami could just wipe out New York City. That could happen. And if it does, I really just want to go quick. Yeah. So in this situation, we have Chipped Marmista attacking them with the most enormous wave she has probably ever conjured.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
This moment is in the season 5 trailer, and it's very impressive. Impressively badass and horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, impressive means, doesn't mean good all of the time. It's just impressive.
It's like at least the size of a football field, but also arcing like a dome over them. But Glimmer acts fast. She immediately casts a sigil to protect them.
Great.
So Marmista basically just ends up taking out all the clones for them.
Great. Thanks, Marmista.
And there's a really gorgeous POV shot of how the water rushing at them looks from inside their bubble. It's kind of like awesome and terrible in this like old-timey sense.
Yeah.
And we also see how much effort it takes for Glimmer to maintain this level and intensity of magic. And Casta steps up next to her, and they do it together. They're like doing this motion together in tandem. And we love to see family that does magic together stays together.
We do. We love it when a non-toxic family is able to do magic together. It is great.
So with their combined magics, they manage to capture this giant mass of water that Marmista has thrown at them and gather it all up into a giant ball and they throw it back at her. And now it's also been spiked with clones, like little chocolate chips, and they all fall on Mermista too.
Yep. And then we have an absolute wonderful scene here.
Yes, and I would like to have you talk about this Seahawk scene, because you are the Seahawk maven on this show.
Yeah, so Seahawk walks up to a very soggy Mermista and comes in with his bluster and bravado. Like, the only way I can describe it when he's talking is he sounds like a circus announcer, like a ringmaster. He's like, Mermista, Horde Prime thinks he controls you, but I know you, and I'm going to prove it with the power of Shanty. Oh, and then he gets knocked over by a wave downward.
Yeah, he lands this butt sticking shit up in the air, which is like the most classic Seahawk move, physical comedy possible.
Physical comedy move. And sometimes you have to be a huge friggin' dork to the person that you love.
Indeed.
And so she keeps shooting water at Seahawk, and he's dodging it, going behind boulders and rocks. And Seahawk is, this is actually kind of nice. Doesn't it remind you of the first time we met? You also tried to kill me then. Still having his very much upbeat Seahawk, like,
Yep.
And he's annoying the absolute fuck out of her. Like, he still has the ability to annoy chipped Mermista.
Yep.
And he's doing like the goofiest, like dodging and then getting hit and then doing like silly, super goofy dodging things and, quipping back like, oh, couldn't wait to sweep me off my feet.
And the poses aren't just goofy. They're like sexy in this very submissive way. And like he ends up in these poses that are like old-timey pinup girl.
Yeah, exactly. He's leaning on his chin and his elbow and his legs are crossed at the hip. And it's very much like, hello. Like it's very roguish. It's very,
but not traditionally masculine.
No, it's almost coquettish.
Yes. That's a great word. Yes.
Right. Like Seahawk is a fantastic, ungendering the word coquette.
Yes. I love that.
So, and he's doing this and he's annoying the fuck out of Mermista right now. To the point where she, like, grumpy Mermista comes through. Why are you like this? And then he completely changes his tone to an earnest admission. He says, because I love you, dearest.
Yes. But her eyes come back for a second when he says, because I love you, dearest.
And says, also, it's a good distraction. This is fantastic. And then Perfuma's Mermista into Seahawk's arms and breaks the chip in the back of her neck.
Yep.
And he so tenderly, while holding her, says, please forgive me for that when you're back to normal.
Mm-hmm. And I wrote in all caps, of course she'll forgive you, you goober.
Yeah, I said these two goofs, I love them. I love this because we see Seahawk as a clown throughout the whole series. And he is a clown. He's full of bluster. He's full of bravado. He gets himself into scrapes all of the time, but still manages to eke out by like the skin of his teeth. He's a rogue. He almost has this very much like trickster, the fool vibe. He's much more of the fool, right? But we get to see these moments where like he might say, oh, Mermista, I love you. But here there's no performance anymore.
Yeah.
It's very much like, I absolutely actually love you. There is sincerity under Seahawk, all caps Seahawk. There is Seahawk, the person.
Yeah, this moment is completely sincere.
I love that.
I love it too.
Yeah. I love that mustachioed weirdo.
He's the best.
Adventure. Anyway.
I would love to have Seahawk as my friend in real life.
I really understand Seahawk. There's a part of me that is very Seahawk and that, there's part of me that's very Catra. I contain multitudes, just like Walt Whitman. I like that we have this kind of, literally behind the curtain peek, right? Because he's so performative all the time. We see him not being performative. So there is this like very like behind the curtain peek at Seahawk's heart. And he's a good man.
He is. And he's a wonderful friend. Like he's so supportive of all of his friends.
Yeah. And he really believes in the power of love.
He does. He's a very unselfish person.
Yeah, he's a sucker that would do anything for his friends, and he's definitely a sucker that would do anything for his girlfriend.
Definitely. And I would have nothing to lose by being friends with him because I don't have a boat.
Yeah, same. I don't have a boat.
So I don't have anything for him to set on fire. So the last thing in this scene, though, after we have this happy reunion where he, Perfuma smashes her chip, Seahawk catches her, and then Frosta cuts into this tender moment by asking if anyone saw where Scorpio went. And they did not. So we have one more Chippy unaccounted for.
Uh-oh.
And with that bit of information, we boot back over to inside the Horde probe, where Bo and Milog are battling clones.
Battling clones.
And luckily, one of the clones happens to accidentally whack the control pad for the control room as he goes down and opens the door, where all of Entrapta's equipment is still set up, so Bo can get in there. Hey, thanks, bud. So they get in there, but who's right behind them?
It's chipped Scorpia.
And that's all we get of that moment. And then we go back to the ground, where Glimmer quickly says, okay, I'm going to go help Bo. And then she turns to ask Aunt Casta something, but we'll never know what she was going to ask, because as soon as she turns, she sees that Aunt Casta and the others have been frozen in some kind of dark magic. So Glimmer manages to poof out just in time to avoid this encroaching dark magic, but everyone else has been trapped. And we have this one aerial shot. We see this enormous dark sigil that has everyone trapped. And Glimmer, for a second, is just sort of standing there in horror, probably trying to figure out what to do. And we see chipped Micah appear beside her in this, cloud of dark magic. And he looks at her with his chipped green eyes and says this very disturbing line, "Hello, baby girl," in his, dark magic, intimidating voice. And my last note for that scene is all caps, "Unsubscribe, please."
When Micah is chipped or under, evil influence, they really go hard on the horror tropes with him.
Yeah.
They really are this is scary. You think this is all scary. What if the dad you never met was evil? And they really go hard with him because he's so good that they really have to go super hard with the scary and the bad to really drive it home.
Yeah, yeah. And because he's so powerful also. It's what if this incredible power was captured basically by evil forces?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they can't catch a break. Every time something good happens, it's oh no, but wait.
Oi. Speaking of something good happening and we all going, oh no, but wait. That was a weird segue. But we're back.
No, that works though.
It works. And now we're back at the Crystal Castle. Prime coming up to Adora and glitched out Mara.
Smug bitch Prime.
Smug bitch Prime. Adora asserts, "You're not here. You can't stop me." Fucker walks through Adora.
Yeah, he completely ignores her. Just walks right through her. With more glitchy computer effects, he wants to get a better look at Mara. She's a zoo exhibit.
Right. And, has whatever passes as introspection for Horde Prime. How strange. I must have fought her, must have known her face, but I have no memory of it. Hear this horrible sounds coming.
Yeah, there's some sort of shrieking creature.
And we're what the fuck is happening? Horde Prime continues his self-important yammering. "I've seen so many like her over the years. One by one, all their faces have been lost to oblivion. Just as yours will be." Fucking villain shit.
Yeah. Top level villain shit. And then as he's saying this, he puts his hand on the side of Mara's face. Another creepy face touch.
Well, these motherfuckers with their... I really want to know who, when designing, when, coming up with the whole thing was you know what? We need to have more people touching people's faces creepily. Where did they pull that from? Because it's such a thing on this show.
Yeah, that, lack of respect for personal space, personal boundaries, bodily autonomy. But as he touches Mara's face, her face starts to disappear into that green glitch screen.
Yep.
And then we have the creature in the woods shrieking again, and a tentacle shoots out of nowhere and slices Adora's side. And her whole body suddenly glows green, and she screams and falls to her knees, and she detransitions back into Adora.
And Horde Prime lets us know it is a parting gift from the first ones. Their old security system, capable of taking out even one as strong as She-Ra. You will never make it to the Heart, Eudora. Your own people made sure of that.
And as he's saying this, we see that the cut in Eudora's ribs is still glowing green, even though the full body glow only lasted a second. And she has tears in her eyes, so she's bad hurt. And Prime is now standing over her while she's down on her knees. So we have like a real big power dynamic being shown in this moment. Like he's such a smug bitch. Like he has total confidence that this is now over. Even though it's not really over, he feels that it's over. He has his hands behind his back in that calm, sort of military strut kind of way. So calm, so orderly. Like he's politely destroying the universe.
Yep. Yeah. He's the devil, the polite devil, right? That's a whole ass
Yes.
trope.
And that's, when he says his last line, "You will never make it to the Heart, Eudora. Your own people made sure of that. Goodbye, my oldest enemy."
Yeah.
And as he says his last line, the room around them begins to glitchily disappear. And then Prime also disappears, leaving Eudora in this black space for a moment with only these weird glowing lights, which quickly resolve into the crystal eyes of the horrifying creature.
And then fucking Cthulhu shows up.
Yeah, it's this weird, creepy giant Cthulhu with all these tentacles hanging out of its mouth. Not a fellow you want to be alone with, basically.
Definitely not. I mean, Cthulhu generally just, brings madness, but this Cthulhu beast also is venomous.
And this guy has been trapped in this crystal castle for like 1,000 years, so he probably really wants a snack.
Right, like he's nothing like the scary spider from Promise. This is way worse.
Yeah. Capable of taking out even a She-Ra.
And guess what happens after this?
The end of the fucking episode!
The end of the fucking episode. What the hell?
What the shit?
What the shit? It looks like things have really turned bad for our hero She-Ra.
Yes, indeed. This is not a great moment to end on. Unless you're Prime. Prime feels very good about his situation right now.
Yeah.
But as we have learned, moments that seem like the end are not always the end.
Yeah. Jenny.
Yes, Meph.
Thank you for telling me what you've learned today.
Oh yeah. I preemptively did the bit. We're so in sync.
We're so in sync. We've done it.
Yes, that's what we've learned. That's what we've learned today, is that moments that seem like the end are not always the end.
Are not always the end.
That's right.
Well, folks, if you liked what you heard and you want to stand beside us ready to fight, you can like and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast fix. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Give us some love. Give us some comments. Say hey at HeyAdoraCast, or you can email us the strength and bravery to win in the end at HeyAdoraCast@gmail.com. And as we tell you, we have a Patreon.
We sure do. And we have a lot of really exciting plans for where we're going to go next.
We do. We have some exciting plans, so you can become a member of the Rebellion, find out what those exciting plans are, get fantastic other perks, Patreon-only live watches, video hangouts, playlist, all of the things. You can find the link to our Patreon in our show notes or at heyadora.gay. A reminder that this week's playlist will be combined with Heart Part 2, and that will come at the end of the next episode.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, friends, all of our shit can always be found at heyadora.gay, your faithful gay website for all the gay things.
And remember, even when things seem absolutely dark, the darkest you probably have ever thought they would be, queer joy is radical.
And queer love saves the universe. So much hot.